What a weird week we have lined up, imps. We've got a lot of fast, quick energy and also a lot of slow energy at the same time. So it's going to be kind of a weird mishmash. The small slowdown energy comes courtesy of the void of course moon. And I'll put these dates and times in a pinned comment or in the description. And this is all Midwest Central Time. Okay, we've got Monday at 4:30 p.m. The moon's going to go void of course for 35 hours and 26 minutes, ending at 3:54 a.m. on Wednesday. So all of Tuesday is void of course. Then we've got Thursday. It goes void of course at 3:36 p.m. for 20 hours and 44 minutes, ending Friday at 12:21 p.m. And then finally on Saturday the 12th, starting at 2:45 p.m. for 28 hours, void of course, ending at 6:44 p.m. Sunday. So out of 168 hours in the week, we are spending a little over half of them with a void of course moon. Thank God, a lot of that time is going to be in the evening and when we're sleeping, most of us anyway. So yeah, that's a lot. That's, I think, the most I've ever seen. And with Uranus in Gemini and all of, like, Uranus wants to go in Gemini and then this floaty void of course moon time, it's going to feel kind of weird. When the moon is void of course, just a little refresher course, I've got a whole video. My very first video is about the void of course moon, if you want to look that up. But quick overview, when the moon is void of course, time just runs weird. If you can think of the moon as like having an appointment and then the appointment is over, the last contact they make with another planet, and then they just wander. She wanders until she goes into the next sign. And the way the other planets are lined up, there's a big gap in her ability to contact another planet, and that's what's causing this void of course. So while the moon is meandering around, that makes it really difficult for us to stay on track, too. It is easy to lose our train of thought, our motivation, and our direction. And the weirdest part of it is you'll do something and you'll think that was just a half an hour and it's only been 10 minutes. Or you'll think that you've got 2 hours to do something and you'll think in your mind, you'll be gauging, okay, that was about a half hour. And then you'll look and it's been 3 hours. I'm not even kidding. Like it's bonkers. Okay, so keeping that in mind, set timers, make lists, stick to your routines is my advice, and I'm sure I'll go over this again. Okay, so for the rest of the story, we start out on Monday, July 7th, and that is when Uranus is going to move into Gemini. That's the big, fast, urgent stuff. Uranus can be understood in one way as being the higher octave of Gemini's ruler, Mercury. There's a lot in common there with that electricity of an instantaneousness of information relay. And so Gemini is a mutable sign, a sign that really enjoys change. It's all about the change, as opposed to Taurus, where Uranus has been since 2018. Taurus is a fixed sign, a sign that does not like change. So now, that explains this weird feeling that I've experienced a lot of feeling like I really want some big change to happen and it's just not happening. And it feels like we're in molasses or something. And that's Uranus being in a fixed sign. For some of us, it's kind of felt like we're all just holding our breath and waiting for a shoe to drop. So when Uranus, the master of revolutionary change, moves into mutable Gemini on Monday, things are going to start moving quickly. Sidebar, sidebar. I keep waiting for, I hope this doesn't sound crazy, but extraterrestrial life, it's got to exist out there with the billions and billions of stars, possibilities that life developed somewhere else and that they are way ahead of us is very high. And if the aliens are going to show themselves within my lifetime, it's probably going to be during this run of Uranus in Gemini. So that's going to happen between now and August of 2032, if it's going to happen. So I'm super excited about that idea, and I hope it happens. So either way, we're looking at major global change between now and when Uranus leaves Gemini in 6 years. And because all change begins with our opinion, and Gemini is the sign of opinions, we can expect our beliefs to really start changing first of all. And won't that be a welcome thing to see? While I have my hopes for how this is going to go, don't be surprised if things get worse initially. If the change starts quickly moving in the wrong direction, because it won't, part of the change is perhaps things getting worse, so we are forced to do something about it, forced out of our complacency, which is what I feel Uranus in Taurus has been doing, is like the change is being fought off with complacency. So please don't lose faith in a good outcome if things do start going to shit real quick. Keep going. And I strongly believe, and other metaphysical people will back me up on this, that while we can't wish a new world into existence, if we keep imagining the worst and we're sure that that's what's going to happen, then that is what's going to happen. We have to prepare for the future, but have a certainty in our minds that we are going to control the outcome of this. Things are going to get better because we're not going to let them get worse. We have a say in how our future unfolds. And if we keep imagining the worst is going to happen and start preparing for it, then we're just swinging the door open and inviting the worst to come in. So please keep that in mind, and keep just your North Star has to be positive, loving change. So let's all hold a vision in our minds of the ideal world that we're working toward, a world of compassion, a world where everyone's needs are met because we have the resources to make that happen. It's a choice we're making. It's just that some of us are choosing, some of us control all the resources and are choosing for the world to be this way. With that in mind, and knowing that's where our beliefs are headed, I mean, what we believe is the right world, if we can push that into our absolute belief system, then the physical work that we have to do to make that happen is going to feel more like we are cashing a check than it is that we're trying to push a boulder up a hill. So the point being, stay informed of what's going on in the world, but please don't be consumed by it, because, and that's really, really difficult for me to do every day. I notice a big change in my happiness levels, though, when I can just focus on love and understanding first for myself, and then extending that to the world around me. So, getting back to the astrology, also on July 7th, Venus is going to trine Pluto. This is a shorter transit. and it's exact on Monday afternoon, and that's been building since Friday. We might have some really intense feelings and even obsessions. If we meet somebody new, we could really fall in love and really fall hard. But let's please keep our eyes open. It might really be love, and it might feel fated, but it might feel fated because it's Scorpio involved and Pluto and the magnetism. Like it feels like you are being drawn to something that is beyond your control, but it is in your control. You can say no. Anyway, I don't mean to scare you, but if you start a relationship right now and it feels incredibly magnetic, be aware that there might be a power imbalance and really check that out. That, the raw magnetism is keeping us from seeing that power imbalance because we kind of, a romantic part of us can want to be just swept up off our feet and forget that we have responsibilities to ourselves. So if you do fall in love and it feels like that, then keep tethered to your friends and family that are outside of this relationship, just in case. It's always a good idea. It's a very healthy thing to do. But I just want to plant that seed that you need to still take care of yourself. If we're in a relationship with a person or a pet or a group, maybe our kids, spouse, or even our home, depending on where this is happening in your chart, we might be directing a lot of love and attention in that direction. And where that might go off the rails is doing things because we want to manipulate what's happening. Like showing somebody all kinds of love and attention and favorites and everything because you want them to fill in the blank for you. And, yeah, as long as what we're doing in giving this big outpouring of obsessive kind of love is for the benefit of everyone in question and not to control them, it'll feel really fantastic. But if we're giving all of this attention so somebody's going to owe us, know that we're manifesting a shadow expression of this energy. We're being manipulative. And we're not going to enjoy the results that come out of that. Might look great now, but down the road, and even in a couple of days down the road, it's going to backfire on you because manipulation always does. We wouldn't do that though. That's not our thing, right? Later in the week, on Thursday, July 10th, the Capricorn moon will be full at 3:36 p.m. Central Time. And then the sun and the moon are going to trine and sextile the nodes of the moon. And that means we're really ready to plan and build for the future, even though we're still struggling with void of course stuff. Our emotional goals are coming into focus, and we're really prepared to do the Saturn-style heart work of staying within our boundaries and working with what we've got instead of waiting for a better day or waiting for the issue to pass without us having to do anything, or for gold to come falling out of the sky or whatever. So it's important to put some effort into looking at the past for instructions on how to not recreate the past. Because if we keep looking at the past as something good, we are going to be dragging that into the future. And yeah, we want the past to teach us lessons so we don't make more of the past in the future, if that makes sense. So things are really happening, imps. And I can't wait to see how everything goes. And please don't be discouraged by any weird stillness or that feeling of, yeah, I'm going to vibrate up off the floor, but nothing's changing. Things really are changing. And, remember the first thing that has to change is everyone's opinion. So things really are happening. And it's really going to be okay because we're going to make sure it is. Keep an eye out for my daily musings, and I will see you tomorrow.